Good morning, everybody. It is Eileen with Jane Nicole Designs. I'm just finishing up cutting a few things this morning for our live, and so I'm going to wait for just a few seconds for people to get on. I'm going to put my light on so you can see my project. I forgot to do that, so hold on and I'll be with you in just a second. There we go. There we go. We get some light on some things here. It's one of those days. It is busy at the Winton household. Our daughter Abby, she's off to soccer practice, and so we got the sprinkler guys. They're running around. In Idaho, you turn off your sprinkler system for the winter, and then you have to have a company come put it back on just to make sure everything's good. And so I've got people walking around the outside of my house, and our dog Dusty is one of those. He's like, okay, I want to meet you, and so you might hear a little bit of chatter from him during the live today. So but anyway, just to let you know kind of what's going on and the little ruckus that's going on in the background, that is just the Winton household. So again, if you're hopping on live, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are watching. Let me know where you're watching from and how's your day going. And the other thing too is if you don't see the little red live button up there, it means that this is the replay. So go ahead and put hashtag replay, and that lets me know when you are watching. So good morning, Joy. It's awesome to see that you're here. We have some fun today. I will be letting you know we're doing my Easter together, putting things up this afternoon for the holiday on Sunday. And so I will be posting pictures of what that's going to be looking like. I know I've been telling you guys, but it's just been one of those couple weeks where it has just been super busy at our house. We've had lots of just kind of, we've gone over to the west side. We've had a lot of people here. Today we are actually having some really good friends from Bellingham over for the evening, and I'm super excited about that. So anyway, it's just been one of those where one thing after another, and then we get to the evening and it's like, ugh. Okay, so, but anyways, I will be putting up my Easter tablescape and decorations, and I will be showing you that later on, probably this afternoon, maybe early evening. So take a look and make sure that that's, you know, that you get a peek at it. You know, we've been doing some projects and things like that, so I do want to let you in on the excitement of it is one of my favorite holidays. So, but today we are going to be doing a little bit, kind of, you can do this for Mother's Day. We're going to be doing some pot holders, and I'm going to do some Mod Podge on some spoons and things like that. But you know, it's not necessarily a Mother's Day thing, but it is coming up, and I was like, you know what, I want to make sure that I'm intentional for Mother's Day this year. And even though I just, you know, my mother-in-law has passed away, but my mom is still here, so I wanted to get a little bit of a start on things, so that even if it's one of those where I gotta mail things, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it live and see how it goes. So we're going to do a little bit of Mother's Day. And like I said, there's a couple of these in here. I'm going to be sending one of them off to my mom, but a couple of these are going to be going in my Etsy store. So if you want to see what I've done today and you want to purchase one of these, it's Jane Nicole Designs and on Etsy, and you can go in there and I know she better not peek. Well, sometimes she watches, so I'm not going to tell you which one I'm going to give her. So, but anyway, it's one of those where we thought, well, we'll be just, you know, doing this, and then like I said, I'll put a couple of them in my Etsy store, and if you're so inclined you want to send them off, that would be awesome. So that just kind of helps me keep my craft supply going, and you know what, it's super fun to be able to join you. So I appreciate you watching, and let's get started. I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be doing 3 of them, so we're going to kind of do in a assembly line process. And today I'm going to be using, we're going to do Mod Podge, and I've got two different kinds this time. We're going to be doing, first of all, this is matte finish, and I want to make sure that the, what do you call it? There's a couple layers of what's going on. I'm going to also be using the fabric one, and that allows that you can wash these off. So when you're doing Mod Podge on this and you're using something that is porous, I would not recommend to put this in your dishwasher. But if you're going to be, you know, you can totally use it for decorative purposes. That's probably the most original intent for this project. But if you have to and you want to, you know, color coordinate and do that, I'm going to use the dishwasher safe Mod Podge so that you can wash it off. So the other thing too is I'm usually doing napkins and things like that, but today I'm actually going to be Mod Podging fabric. So I'll show you how to do that. And I really like this idea because, you know, the napkins, you know, if you don't get it sealed completely and properly, it might disintegrate, but fabric is okay to get wet. So I thought, you know what, this is a better idea to be able to do that. So the thing is, I'm going to do them all, like I said, assembly lines. So we're going to put them all together. And I have these I was going to show you. I'm sorry it's backwards, but I got these at Walmart, and it's 9 of these, and it was like $6, $8 or something like that to be able to get 9 of them in a pack. And they're bamboo, and I like that. So, you know, you're welcome just to get whatever you want, but these are really nice and sturdy, and I like that they're a little bit thicker so that it shows more of the fabric and stuff like that. So you're going to be hearing some beeping and things like that. That is my little heat press we're going to be using today. So no one's breaking in. It's just the heat press. So all right, I'm going to be using, I had to show you, this is so fun. See this in the back here? That is my big cart of all of these scraps. I went to a thrift store, and they had a big, huge pack of all these material scraps and things like that. And I was like, oh my goodness, how awesome. I benefited from some I would say probably quilters scraps, and I have been using them all over the board. I've tied them little strips and things like that and made some wreaths and whatnot. I've used them for the tops of mason jars to give a little bit of a fabric kind of, you know, florally flare on the top. So thank you, whoever did that. I was really excited because then I didn't have to go and buy all these little cuts and pieces and whatnot. And I'm one of those where I like to use kind of, you know, the leftovers kind of thing, and just that's the challenge of being able to see what's going on. So anyway, that's what I did. These are just little scraps and things like that I'm going to be using, and I just thought for this project, I wanted to do a little bit of kind of a floral flare, and we're going to be I'll show you what to do. So let's get started. Come along with me. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my handle of each of the utensils are actually have something to stick to. So I'm going to use the luster. Sorry about that. There we go. The matte, not the luster, but the matte Mod Podge. And I'm just going to use just a regular, you know, I get these at Walmart, and I use them for paint, and I also use them for Mod Podge. So let's make sure that I do the right ones that I wanted for each of my projects. I had them all color coordinated previous just to make sure that it didn't take too long. And so let's see here. I want to make sure where, oh, there they are. Hold on. My scissors are always under something. So let's do that. And I'm going to just take the top of it. I want to do the pinking shears. So I'm just going to go right on the top here. And I'm just going to go right about there. I want to be able to, if I put it in something, I'll be able to have a little bit of a space in between there. So you see that? And then I'm going to just wrap it around so that it meets each other. And how I want to do this, I want it to meet in the back. So I'm just going to pull this together here, wrap it over. I know exactly right there is where I want it to end. So I want it to go here. I'm going to leave a little bit because I want to put something in that hole there. I actually have a little piece of ribbon that I want to use. So there we go. And then I'm just going to fold it over and then just get a little idea of where it's going to be on the end. So that when I'm done, I have, oops, wrong one. I have a little bit of overhang, but not too much. And if you wanted to, you could use a cutting wheel, but I'm just going to use my scissors. So, all right, there we go. So this is what this one is going to look like. Just like that. There we go. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, this one here, it's a little bit thinner, so I'm going to use just a little piece of this fabric, and I made sure that if I rolled it, that I'm only going to use half of this one. But you could use any fabric you want. I would love to see if you want to put in the comments your ideas of which ones you would love to be able to, you know, I think it would be fun to do Mother's Day and Easter, all that kind of stuff. So definitely definitely this is not just a Mother's Day. And especially, I think it would be really fun to do like a housewarming gift for someone, even a wedding gift, to be able to, you know, have a gal start their new kitchen out with a little fun pot holder, and be able to bless their kitchen. I think that would be awesome. There we go. I just wanted to make sure that it was straight. So, and this one here, I'm going to go all the way to the, just to the, about to the end. I think I'll use this one. I keep trying to change my mind here because I was deciding what I want to do. That's the cool thing about crafting. You get all the ideas and whatnot, and then it's up to you to put the personal touch on things. So I'll give you the idea and you run with the execution of it. Okay, I think this is what I would like. Yep, okay. So there's number two. And then this one here, I'm not really sure. I've kind of one of those where I was like, okay, should I put the black in there? I'm going to use this pot holder. So I don't know. What do you think? Should I do more on that side, or should I actually incorporate the black in there? I'm going to be putting vinyl on it, and this is the color of vinyl. So maybe I should do all monotone, or should I actually, I haven't decided yet. Okay. Well, let's look at it and see what happens. Because, oh, maybe I do like the black in there. What do you think? I am not sure yet. Or more, no, I think I do like the black. What do you guys think? I think it's definitely one of those. I think it's going to be the black. So let's go ahead and get our pinking shears, and we're going to go across the top of the black. There we go. So in this one here, no, it looks like I cut it crooked. Let's not do that. There we go. There we go, I think, yeah. Okay. So I want to make sure that I can, you know, put it in at least a little bit of the thing that I'm going to be mixing without having it in the fabric. And I've seen this too where it's purely decorative and they've wound fabric around the end instead of just doing, you know, a straight Mod Podge. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this project. Okay. And like I said, this is super easy. It's one of those, if you got some scissors and get a couple pieces of you know, leftover fabric. That's what I like about this project. It's one of those taking all those little pieces and extras and whatnot and making it your own. So let's look and see how that goes. There we go. I think that looks awesome. So let me know in the comments. Give me a little hearts up and say, yep, go for it. If not, I guess I'll make that decision on my own, but I would love it to have you let me know what you think. Okay, so here's our first one. We're gonna go for the Mod Podge now. And like I said, I'm gonna use this one. Oh, good, Aim, good. All right, so I'm just gonna load this up with the mat, and I'm gonna just make sure that it has a good solid coat on here. And I will make sure, I believe, yes, I did, didn't I? Yep, I did not do the end here, so. We'll just put Mod Podge on each side. Make sure that it is completely full. And we are actually, when we're done too, we're gonna put another coat on it with the dishwasher safe. So I wanna seal this and make sure that it is not only a decorative one, but it will be able to be useful. So what I did here is I just went ahead and just put it right down the middle. And then I'm gonna take, this is a, let's see here. This is just a glove. And I'm gonna use that and just push it down. Sometimes if you use your hands, it sticks on there, and you want to be able to not move the fabric. If you need to, you can mold the fabric where you want it to go. But see how I did that? I just right on the top there. And then we're gonna go over the top. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna trim this off a little bit, looks like. There we go. Also, let me know how things are going. Are you getting ready for Easter? Is it one of those? We're gonna do the early morning hop to church, and then we're gonna do, I think we might even do steak for Easter. I haven't even decided yet, so there we go. Let's make sure that it goes down. All right, so now that I put it on there, I'm gonna make sure that it seals in the back here. There's a little bit of overhang. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run the Mod Podge right down the front there. Go ahead. Make sure that it meets up pretty well there. And that's what I love about the material, because you can start molding it and pushing it where you need to be. Make sure that there's no bubbles in it, that it's, you know, push it down and make sure that you don't have any bubbles or wrinkles where you don't want it to go. So there we go. All right. now what I'm going to do is I want to Mod Podge it one more time with the luster or the matte. You can either one, you can use either one, but I'm going to go over the whole thing because I want to seal it. Go over the fabric so that you make sure that you don't have any of the fabric exposed without the Mod Podge on it. And that will give you, for, you know, purposes right now, that'll seal up your fabric. How exciting. I love this. And of course, I stole this idea from somewhere on the internet. I can't remember. I think it was Pinterest. That's one of my favorite places to go and look for ideas and things like that. All right. So this is opaque right now. It will dry clear, but that's what I want to do. I just want to make sure that the fabric and front part of the wood is sealed. Okay, so we're going to keep that just like that. I'm just going to put it, I have a little can here. I'm just going to put that in my can and I'm going to let it dry for a bit. And make sure, we could, if you wanted to speed up the process, you could put it in, put a hair dryer or a heat tool, the embossing tool or something like that. You could do that and speed up the process. And I may do that just for time's sake, but let's do, I like to do each of my projects, I like to do them one step at a time. So I don't forget where I am in the process of each of these. So you know me, I like to go from the foundation up and then, like I said, one thing at a time. And this would be a fun one if you had like, you know, 6 or 8 of these to do at once. I think it would be easier to do it that way. And then the pot holders, I got them, I think at, I want to say the dollar store, or I think I either that or I got them at Walmart. So the cool thing about those is they all have little pockets, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing on that. It's easier. We're going to be using some vinyl, and it's easier to put the vinyl on that. So the ones like up here where it's bumpy and, you know, that kind of thing. Good morning, Renee. It's harder to do vinyl on. So I just wanted to make sure that I have a good surface to put it on. So if you can find those, that would be awesome. Okay, so we're just going ahead. I want to make sure that I smooth this down so that there's no bubbles. I'm going to move it down a little bit. And this here, let's use this one. I'm going to just cut it a little bit because we're going to round it and we're going to have it go around the end. This one will be a little bit different. We'll have it go around the end of our spoon. Just like that. I'm just going to wrap it around. There we go. Make sure that you do clip off some of these little stray strands of the fabric. And then roll it up. I'm going to cut off just a little bit. I think I was a little bit too generous on there. Make sure that I don't want it to overlap too much. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Go ahead and put a nice helping of Mod Podge down the back here. There we go. Yep, gonna trim a little bit more. I want this to be a little shorter in the front there. There we go. I want it to be able to match up so that it looks intentional. right, we'll cut the end, stuff some more Mod Podge in there. There we go. Now, if I wanted to, I think I will a little bit. There's a little excess. I'm going to just trim those off, because we don't want them to stick out. That would be kind of weird to have it stick out. Put a little more Mod Podge on there. So we're just folding it over, tucking it in, and then we'll put some Mod Podge on it, and then it'll seal it. There we go. Okay, are we ready? Awesome. Okay, now here we go. We're going to go for the nice, generous helping of Mod Podge. Make sure that that sticks down really well. And like I said, it's going to go opaque, but it will dry clear. And there is several different types of Mod Podge. I've got like, I think 3 or 4 different types, and just learning how to use them. It's a challenge just to be able to figure out which you know, Mod Podge goes where. But I think a lot of my projects, I wouldn't go without them. Awesome. Oh, looks like I have a runaway piece of fabric here. Let's get rid of that. And make sure that every crafter's dream is baby wipes. So make sure you have baby wipes on hand. I know we went to Costco the other day, and I'm like, oh, we need to make sure that we get the baby wipes, because we had like two packs left. We're like, nope. I use them for cleaning my bathrooms, kitchen, counters, all the sorts of things. Our cars, we always use them to wipe out the insides of our cars. There we go. I am just pushing that over and making sure that it stays down. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna put this one, let this one dry a little bit, and on to the last one here. And this one is just a little spatula. And I wanted to make sure that this one here is gonna be way over generous with the fabric. So let's see if I trimmed it a little bit. I need to trim it a little bit here. Remember to make sure you take off all the little extra pieces of thread. And the other thing too, I was telling you, the fabric is great, but you can also do this with napkins. It's up to you what you'd like to do. What's wrong? Wrong one. But like I said, I have all this extra fabric, and it's like, you know what? I want to see how this works. So we'll go right up on the top. And I do want this to have the jagged edges. Okay, we're ready for the last one. Thanks for coming along with me. It's one of those, when you have a friend to craft with, there is no better thing. All right. Go. And so, you guys, I've had the funniest weather week, and I know a lot of everyone else on the west side, and I've been seeing some just crazy weather patterns all over. Let me know what you got today. I finally, it's beautifully sunny today, but it is not going to get up let's see, until 6 p.m. It'll be 41 degrees, but right now it's 30. So it's freezing. And I'm one of those, I'd rather stay in my house. But I have a girlfriend that she's like, let's go walking today. I'm like, I would love to, sister. So I am going to put my winter coat that I would wear to all of our daughter's soccer games. That it looks like a big parka, but I'm gonna make sure that I stay warm today. So we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know when next week how that went. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this over. Again, make sure that there's no bubbles in it. Make sure that it's straight. Doing a little bit of fabric here. Oh, this is so cute. There we go. Isn't that so fun? I love it. I can imagine doing like buffalo check and doing like Christmas. I think this would be so fun. It's such a personalized gift. So excited for that one. Okay, so last coat here. Just make sure you get that all over the fabric. And like I said, when this dries, we are going to put another coat of Mod Podge on here. Don't be worried about how many. I've seen projects like this that have probably 3 or 4 coats of Mod Podge on here. So don't worry about the number of coats, because it does need to be sealed well. So don't worry about that. And the dishwasher safe one is a little bit more thick, and so we want to make sure that the Mod Podge that we have on these ones right now is dry, so that it will stick well, because we don't want wet Mod Podge on top of the thick one. Otherwise it'll start dragging this Mod Podge, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to drag the wet stuff around. Okay, there we go. Like I said, it's opaque and it will dry clear. So we're gonna put it in our little pot over here, and we're just gonna let that dry. So while that is drying, I wanted to let you know, last week we did a giveaway, and you could enter in to win. This is called, it's a glitter that you can put on paper. And last week I put it on flowers, and it's actually red, and then I sprayed the glitter on it. It's like a glitter kind of metallic, and you can see how it's got a little bit of that gold sheen, and this is it. This is what you use. So in the comments I said, hey, go ahead and let me know that you wanted this, and I drew a name, and Joy, you get it. So Joy Crumdack, make sure that you email me, or I will contact you. I think I have your contact, your phone number, and let me get your address so I can send this to you. So congratulations, Joy, you got it. So, and it's super fun. I've used it a couple different ways on scrapbook pages and the flowers and whatnot. If you go back in the description of Jane Nicole Designs, you'll see the project I finished, and I put it up on my wall from last week. And that's going to be the beginning of my Americano master bedroom. And it's a journey that it's going to take me a little bit, definitely, to be able to get all the pieces together. I'm just going to be ordering up the bed linens and all that kind of stuff. So our wall of pine, my husband did that a couple weeks ago, took a wall and did an accent, and it's called Idaho Blue Pine. If you want to put that in your Google and see what that looks like, it's really, really cool. Cool, Joy. All right, yes. So message me your mailing address, and then we'll get things going. So, okay, next part of this project is we're going to be, oh, here's a tip. If you can't do wash off your brush right away, go ahead and put it in a baby wipe, and that's the good part. Okay, so this is the pot holders we're going to be using, and like I said, I made sure that I had a flat surface to be able to do this with. And so, you know, you could do this with a towel. You could do, you know, they have kind of linen towels and things like that. Welcome to do it that way as well. But this one here, I'm actually going to be putting something in it, and then the spoon. I have a little like cookie like bag that has, here, let me show you. Little sugar cookie thing I'm going to be putting in it. Oh, Amy, here we go. Mrs. Fields cookies. I remember that. So Mrs. Fields cookies, this is a little box that does, you know, it's like a pre-made mix. So yeah, anyways. And then on the back here, it's almost got like a skid thing. So these are really nice. So if you can find, you know, I would go to Fred Meyer's or Target, something like that, just to make sure that that pocket is there. It's really helpful. So what I did is I had some vinyl that we're going to be putting on here, and I'm going to just kind of show you a little bit here. Say if you have a Cricut, if not, let me know, I can help you out. But I am going to be putting some vinyl on the pot holders, and the cool thing about this is I used a bunch of scrap kind of stuff. This is a piece of vinyl that I have cut like all these little, you know, pieces out of and whatnot, and I didn't even get a brand new sheet. I just have a notebook that I have all scraps and things like that. So when I did this, I just wanted to show you, you know what, this project is something that you can use all sorts of little pieces and whatnot, so that you don't have to worry about using new things. So this is kind of all from scraps and different things like that. So I'm going to show you really quick. This is kind of how I do the vinyl process. And so I cut it out. You can kind of see it. There we go. There's a little bit. I started this one here. This is the pink. And I started weeding it. But I wanted to show you, because it's super cool. I went to the dollar store the other day, and I think it's Dollar Tree or whatever, and they have some vinyl, and I haven't tried the vinyl, so if you've tried it, let me know. But they had some tools, and I kid you not, look at this is the Dollar Tree one, and then oh, where did it go? Oh, here it is, right here. This is the Cricut. And although it's a little bit different, this one's 99 cents. This one's like $5, $6. So they almost look identical, but the only thing, if you can see it, see how this one is a little bit sharper than that one? What I did is I just took a sanding block and I just went right on the tip of it so that it made it a little bit more sharp. And that's all I did. And so these both work just as well. So I'll show you. What I did here is I took away a lot of the outside, and we'll do that on a different one. And then I'm just going to weed these and make sure that I get each little piece out. And then we're going to put this on the project. And today I am going to show you, I have my little Cricut hand heat press, and that one, let's see here, I want to make sure this stays down and this goes up. There we go. I just wanted to make sure, see how the A in there, it's hiding in the vinyl, so I was just making sure. So when you pick off vinyl, I usually have a piece of tape or some type of something that's sticky, because a lot of times if you don't and you don't have a specific place to put the vinyl, it ends up back on your project, and you do not want to do that. So I'm going to put my trivet over there because I don't want it to be wobbly. I need to be able to have a good surface to do this. Okay, and then I'll show you the next thing. This right here is my scoring tool. I forgot to get it before it, but this is just another little tool that I use for, it's a piercing tool. And this one here is if I have really, really fine, small, small pieces to pick out. And that's one of those. It might take me a second here. There we go. But like I said, I need to make sure that I get all those little pieces out. You want your image to be able to be seen. But like I said, make sure that you pick all the vinyl out that you do. And I always, when I have an intricate detail like this, I just make sure that I have up on the screen my my image so that I can look and see. Every once in a while I'll pick off something that shouldn't have been there, or you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you pick off the right spots. So like I said, this is one of those, if you do not like doing stuff like this for weeding, I recommend either doing something that's already pre-done. You can go on Etsy. They have lots of different designs that you can buy for only a few dollars. And you don't need to go and buy the Cricut machine or whatever. So it's fun to be able to help out different designers and things like that. This image, the ones that I'm using today, I did get off of Etsy, or some of them, and then the, excuse me, the one that, the second one I'm going to be using, I got off of Design Bundles, and it's, you go to designbundles.net and you can pick designs, because to be honest, I don't have a lot of extra time to design all of these by myself, and so I just like to be able to take someone else's design, and just make sure that when you're doing stuff like this, if you're going to be selling things, that that you have a commercial license. And I do have a commercial license for, I would say, probably 90% of what I sell, and the 10% that don't, I just make those for family and friends. So just be careful on that one. I have had where yeah, I've bought a design and then it said for personal use only, and I'm like, oh, I can't put it in my Etsy store because that would be copyright and policy infringement. So, okay, there we go. I weeded, I picked all the vinyl out. You can see what it looks like because I've got it backwards. So, hey Jeff, good morning. I thought you were out and about. So, all right, so how this works. We're gonna do this one real quick, and I want to make sure that when I put something on like this, that I have, these are little pillows that I got off of Amazon, and I have probably like 4 or 5 of them, and then I have heat sheets, which I need to, hold on, run over and get my heat sheet. This is the same material, but it's really thin, so I just want to make sure that I have that. Forgot that one today. So I'm just going to fold this little tab in, and I'm just going to put it inside the pocket here. Let's put this stuff off to the side. You know me, I like to clean up while I'm going because I don't, like I said, I don't want any extra pieces of vinyl. I make sure that we don't want to do that. Sometimes like I said, sometimes I leave the vinyl on there and I forget to pick it off, or sometimes I have a rogue piece and it sticks on, and I just want to make sure my surface area is ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this upside down. We'll see how this goes. But go ahead and put pillow in there. You don't have to have a pillow, but I do recommend when you're doing stuff like this to be able to do that. So, all right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it in half, and that tells me where the middle is. And then I'm gonna line it up just right about where I think that it's gonna be the middle. Split the difference. Just like that. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I just wanna, this is super hot, so I'm just gonna heat up my surface. I wanna make sure that I get the moisture out of the fabric first, and that helps it so that it adheres correctly. So I want to first of all get the moisture out. And this here, this little Cricut machine, I got it at Joann's, and it is one of those where it's helped me quite a bit. I thought, I don't know if I want to get this. But the cool thing is, just be careful, it is really hot. But it goes in places where my big, huge heat press doesn't. So, I mean, I could do this on my big heat press, but I think that this is just fine to be able to do it with this project. So, like I said, make sure that it's all nice and warm. I'm just heating it up a little bit so my machine gets warm. Okay, and then making sure where the middle is. I'm gonna go and just line it up and push my heat pillow down a little bit. Like I said, you just want to line it up to make sure where you're going. If I wanted to as well, I have heat tape, and I could actually, if I wanted to, takes a little bit of heat tape and put that down there so it does stick down even better and it doesn't move. But because it has the clear tape around it, or the piece there, I'm just gonna leave it just like it is. Okay, so then when I do this, I always put a piece of the Teflon over the top, and we are just gonna go for it. And how this works is, if I were to use it on the heat press, I would do it at 320 for about 10 to 15 seconds each one. And then kind of just test it and see each time. I usually do 2 to 3 presses with that. But for this one here, I'm just gonna be holding, see how I'm holding this down? I wanna make sure that my Teflon doesn't move, and that when I'm putting it, this image on here, I want to make sure that each piece that I'm gonna be doing that gets stuck down. So I don't wanna stay too much on that side and not on this. I just kind of want to be moving it around to make sure that it gets even pressure and even heat. So, like I said, it's going to take a little bit. But let me know, have you ever done this? Do you guys have a heat press like this? Let me know, are you a seasoned vinyl person? Or is this something that is brand new for you? I love feedback. It's you know what? It's what helps. I think we teach a class, and every time we're done with a class, when we're finished, it's a 9-week class or 6-week. It just depends on what we're teaching. We always do an evaluation, and I kid you not, it helps out so much to be able to know what people are thinking, and oh, should we keep doing this? Should we not? Okay, so now I'm gonna look and see. Yeah, I need a little bit more here right at the end. And that's the cool thing about vinyl. It'll tell you when it's ready. Definitely. It's not one of those where, you know, like tie-dye where you have to open it up and, oh, let's see. So I want to make sure that it is down. Like I said, it might take a few. But that's okay. That's all right. I want to make sure that it goes on, because what you don't want to do is start peeling it up and then it not being 100% there. And this design is it's got little pieces, so sometimes you got to make sure that those little pieces stick on the side. There we go. See how it's starting to come up. And I'm going to use actually this one and press it down. And that just helps it stick to the fabric. There we go. There, I'm going to keep it going. Let's see how the whisk did. Nope, better do that on the whisk. Again. Like I said, you don't want it to not stick properly and then end up making it wrinkly and whatnot. So, like I said, I'm one of those. I'd rather err on the side of caution there. Oh, it looks like that's not happy. Let's do it again. Let's sit for a second. That's okay. That's one of those where crafting sometimes you can't rush things. And this is definitely, it looks like one of the things you can't rush. I think I'll apply a little bit more pressure as well. On the heat press, it's pretty tough to push it down with a couple of these layers. So we'll push it down a little bit better. There we go. Awesome. All right, let's keep going. Make sure that it keeps going. Yep. Oh, this one, it looks like it's not gonna go. Nope, let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, it's on everything. Okay. I'm wondering if, because it has a little bit of polyester in it, it needs to have a little bit more of time on it. So we'll see. This could be one of those where I might be taking my adhesive. I don't know if you guys have it, but vinyl adhesive, and you take it off and you can do a different vinyl. But this should be fine. It should be cotton, but it looks like there might be some polyester in it, and we'll have to heat it up hotter to be able to get it to stick. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Yep. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let's get the, I'm going to let this cool, and we're going to, this is a vinyl that it looks like it needs to cool down to be able to peel it. Otherwise, if it's too hot, sometimes it doesn't peel off as well. So I'm going to let this just sit for a minute, and then we're going to move on to the next one. And the next one here, this is a vinyl that, oh, let's see, I think I got this at Swing Design. And Swing Design is a vinyl company that you can just order online, and I love it. It comes pretty quick, and you can buy it by the foot. So if you do swingdesign.com, it's one of those where it is a it's a really nice company to order from. So like again, we're gonna do some weeding here, and like I said, if you don't like weeding, I would either purchase one that is already done for you, or you know, Joann's has a bunch of different vinyl or heat transfer kind of stuff that if you want to do that. But this is one of those where I enjoy it. I'm okay with that. So I know it's probably not as exciting when you're watching it, but when you get to do it on your own, I think it's a super satisfying being able to cut and do this on your own. But like I said, it's definitely a fun one. There we go. And let me know if there is an idea that you have. It's always so fun to be able to do projects here. But sometimes I'm like, do you like to do scrapbooking? Do you want to do revamping, redesign, painting? It's always fun to get your feedback and allowing you guys to be a part of what I choose to do. I do have some projects that I'm going to be doing for my room coming up, but I want to find out what you guys are doing and what you're up to. If there's an idea that you have either, you know, send me a picture of, and I'll see if I can revamp and do the same thing, or I'd love to get some new tricks and tips and ideas of, you know, just going on the own crafting journey. And also where the good places to find things. Like I've told you before, we have limited sources of thrifting and whatnot. And so I do have to go outside of our town to be able to thrift. So it's been one of those. Okay, so this is a pretty intricate detail. And so I just want to make sure that this has like a little filigree or design, not a filigree, a design that I want to make sure that I get all these little pieces and then off to the side so they don't end up on my project. And that's one thing about the Cricut. The Cricut does a really good job of cutting intricate details. This is pretty small. So I want to make sure that each of these little pieces get taken out where they need to. Okay. So I told you guys last week it was our anniversary, and we went to somewhere. My husband was like, Jeffrey's like, I'm not going to tell you where we're going, but we're going 3 hours south. I'm like, oh, okay, 3 hours south. I was like, oh. So we went down to, from the Coeur d'Alene area, headed south on 95, and ended up going down Highway 12. If anybody's been down Highway 12, it winds beautifully along a river, and you can stop and fish or whatnot. And super fun time going. And we went to a little town where we walked into a restaurant, and it was one of those where you could totally tell that we were not, there we go, that we were not locals. And so I'm gonna try it without this one. And so we just kind of hung out for the day, and then tootled on back up here. And beautiful rolling hills. If I can, there we go. Let's see, is that good? Yep. Let's heat this up first. Make sure that it is okay. And I'm looking over here. Yep, it's working. Okay. It's always one of those, especially when you do live. You have no idea what's gonna end up, if it's gonna be an epic, you know, epic fail or not. Let's make sure. I have one little piece of vinyl. That's what I say. It is good to make sure that all the pieces of vinyl are cut out. There we go. I think that's a good one. Okay. Anyway, so after our weekend, we went and picked up our boat. We have a boat. And for many of you who know us, it has been long in coming that we've had to decide if we're going to be doing a boat or not. And the snow or the freezing is not done yet, so we can't go out on it. But it is one of those. We're trying to we de-winterized it, and now I'm in the process of hoping to reupholster the inside. I'm not a sewer, but we'll see how that goes. And then also getting all those little like cups and all that kind of stuff to be able to cruise out on the water and eat and barbecue and whatnot. So that has been this week's. I wake up in the middle of the night going, okay, let's see, what do I need to put on the boat? What do I need to end up doing for that? So I don't know about you. Let me know. Are you a outdoorsy when it gets nice, hiker, all that kind of stuff? We decided that boating was going to be our hobby for this summer, and we will see how it goes. We both, my husband and I, we both kind of grew up having boats. Our families had boats, and then both working at either a boat manufacturer or my husband worked at West Marine for a while, and it was one of those. We were just like, okay. Then we knew all the boating stuff. We thought, oh, should we do that or should we not? And this last summer, it was like, all right, it had to be the perfect boat. And Lord brought us the perfect boat and in the perfect price and all that kind of stuff. So we have kind of, I had to say yes, because that's what we asked for and we got it. Okay, so I'm gonna let this one sit too, because it does need to cool down as well. So when you go ahead and tear this back, that's the one thing you do need to know about your vinyl. This is a they call it a cold peel, where I thought, oh nope, it's one of those where you just peel it hot, and nope, it's a cold peel. So I had to wait for it to cool down. And so now it is ready to go. If I wanted to, and I will, because I want to make sure that this sticks really well, I'm just going to do one more heat press to make sure that it sticks on there. We wouldn't want any embarrassing peel ups. So, and how I know that it is adhered, you might be able to see it with my light going over here, but when it does a little bit of the pattern of the fabric on the vinyl, that tells me that it is adhered to the vinyl. So the vinyl to the fabric. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be doing projects like this and you're not really sure, and you know this is going to be something that needs to go through washing. Make sure that a little bit of that is on there so that you know that the vinyl has stuck to the fabric. So just a little side note, that was one of those where when I started doing heat press vinyl, I wasn't really sure. I had a very good mentor who helped me start off doing vinyl, but there were different types of fabrics that I was using, and sometimes to be honest, I wasn't really sure how that worked. And then it was one of those where she was like, just make sure that the vinyl sticks and you see the pattern of your fabric coming through. And I kid you not, that has been the saving grace of all that is true and wonderful in vinyl. So just make sure that that's that you heat it up, and make sure that what vinyl you're going to be using, you know the instructions, whether it's 300 degrees or, you know, some of the different, if you're going to be doing on polyester or cotton, all that different little variables that go into heat press vinyl there, or heat transfer, I should say, HTV. And for the longest time, I didn't know what that meant. And it was one of those. I'm like, I have to learn my terminology. Okay, so this here, I'm just weeding out my last saying. And this vinyl here is very similar to what I had. I did get this one too at Swing Design. So this is what it says: don't blend it in, be different. I'm going to be putting that on my last one here. So, and I think what I like, I tried the pillow on there, and for this type of vinyl, I'm just gonna, because it has a little bit of a cushion on it already, I'm just gonna use it just like this. I think it stays a lot more flat and be able to adhere to the fabric. Okay, there is a little wrinkles right here, and I want to make sure that I don't put the wrinkle on the vinyl because I don't want it to come up in any way. So I'm going to make sure that that is straight. Let's see if I can do this upside down. There we go. I'm going to press it down to make sure that the thing adheres correctly. There we go. And this one here, it's got quite a bit of a solid, so I want to make sure that that solid stays in its spot. And a lot of times the bigger the image, the longer you leave it on, the heat on. And so just be aware of that, that the little images and things, the little writing and whatnot do not take as long. But with this little mini press, I think it's a good way to gauge where you're going on how thick the piece of vinyl is that you're using. But like I said, you could do, fabric on this, on the front of it, instead of using vinyl. You could just leave it plain. Oh, see, this one came off really quick. Ta-da. And I know the reason why. My heat press is at full capacity. So this means that the vinyl adhered very quick, and because of the temperature, it went in. And a lot of times this Swing Design, the vinyl releases from this clear super easy when you know that it is on there. So kudos to Swing Design for doing that. That's awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and press this one more time just to make sure that it's stuck on there. And I did, when I looked, I saw that on there, I saw that the vinyl went into the fabric, so that you know that that is on there. And that's the good thing. You just don't, you want to make sure that this does not come off. Okay, so let's do this one. This one's a cool peel. There we go. So that one, cool peel. And so I'm just going to heat it up one more time just to make sure that that vinyl sticks on there. And then I pull up because I just want to make sure that I don't tear any of that vinyl away because it's super hot. So there we go. All right, so we're getting things together. This is awesome. I love it. All right, so let's get back to our Mod Podge. So this right here, I can touch it now. It's not completely dry, but it is dry enough for me to be able to put on the dishwasher safe coat. So I'm just going to be using just a regular brush here. It's got it's pretty thick, and so it's going to glide on that Mod Podge really well. So this is the one that you can use and put pieces in the dishwasher. I wouldn't recommend putting our project, this wooden spoon, through the dishwasher. I would just hand wash it. But all you need to do for this, and it is super thick. If you wanted to, you could thin it out a little bit, but for this project, I want to make sure that it is thick so that no water gets in on my fabric. and go ahead and just put it right on the fabric. You can go a little bit off, and that seals the end of the fabric to the piece of wood. And like I said, don't be afraid that you can, you know, you can do a couple coats if you want to. It's just up to you what you would like to do. Make sure that you get all sides, and it will dry clear, but I just like to go one, you know, one direction. You don't want, I just don't want swirlies and stuff like that in it. I just want it to be back and forth. So I just want to use my brush just going one way. And like I said, it is kind of thick, so you want to make sure that you have straight strokes of what you want. And there we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. It, like I said, it does look opaque, but it will be drying. This is starting to dry almost clear. And I'm just going to show you just on this one about the dishwasher safe one. I will wait. This one here, it looks like it needs to dry. See how it's got that white on it? And I could take my hair dryer and just buzz it really quick, but I want to make sure that it, because it is on wood, that it dries correctly. So I'm going to wait on that one. But for time's sake, I just want to put this together because I think that this is a great project that I love how it turned out. So if you're going to be needing a quick gift, I think that this is a fantastic way how to get a personalized. And the fun part about it is you could do this well in advance, have like 5 or 6 on hand that you already have put together, and to be able to give in a moment's notice. But look how fun this turned out. Isn't that awesome? And if you want to write a little fun note in it, or add, you know, I thought it would be really cute. I have some ribbon here that when it dries, I'm gonna tie a little piece on the end in here so that it makes sure that, you know, it gives it just that one little extra touch. So awesome, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you have any questions about what I did today, the heat transfer vinyl, the different types of Mod Podge that I used, where I got any of the supplies, let me know in the comments there. You can message me on Jane Nicole Designs. I do have an Etsy store that's called Jane Nicole Designs, and like I said, I'll have a couple of these up that you can purchase. And then you are welcome to follow me. I have a YouTube channel. All of my videos go up on YouTube, and you can do a Jane Nicole Designs marathon of all the crafting. I do put all the supplies, so you can craft and do it with me along. And the one thing I love about doing the lives is that it just brings a little bit of joy to my day to be able to hang out with you guys. So I so appreciate everyone watching, and I will see you next time. Have a fantastic rest of the week. And I know it's going to be replayed a few times, but happy Easter. Take care.